wake of the star hopper as it makes its way around the Montaigne coast. It has been, let's say, 2 days since you escaped the jail. And you've made some headway around the coast, and the two newcomers on the boat have come to know some of the crew a little better. It's up to you how much you're mingling with them, how much you're keeping a distance from them. There's still an element of wariness towards strangers of unknown loyalty on board. Like, they're not hostile, but they're not trusting yet in general. Like, I don't entirely know if you have an ulterior motive here. But
Yeah,
as you.
Einar would have made himself as available as people would be willing to let him be. Um, at this point, Einar has no real ulterior motive with being on the boat. He wants to find something and fuck it up. So uh yeah, so if they need something lifted because he's big, or they need help turning, so they need him to move to a side of the boat, like he'll do whatever he needs to do, whatever they're willing to let him do. But otherwise it's like this is essentially a second home, being on the water on a boat. So for him, he's just enjoying it and not being cooped up in a tiny ass jail cell.
I think Antonio's likely to be doing the same. He'll be mingling and helping where he can. He is a decent sailor, but he's got his own talents if anyone wishes to learn anything more about swordplay, for example. But he's also, I think the background is a distro, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. They like study swords and swordplay, but also the actual crafting of them. So he probably offers services with helping with anything that needs repairing on the ship. If there's anything along those lines, he's quite happy with helping. And he's quite happy just climbing the rigging and helping generally because he's quite good at that side of things.
Okay, so the two seem to be making efforts to fit in, to blend in on the crew. Um, we get where we pick up Finlay and Carsten. Is there anything you have been particularly up to, or want me to be aware of before we head further um, around the
No,
coast?
Carson just well, let's see what he does. Since we're not really on a job, because Finley and the captain and I work together on various jobs and missions and adventure and all that stuff. Since we're kind of mid job right now, he tries to make himself, what can I do? How can I earn my keep on the ship as we're doing? In between that, and he's always checking his weapons down in his cabin.
You said we escaped from San Juan, right?
Yes.
All right. So in a couple of days, we should be coming up on Rogue, the city of Rogue in Montaigne. Have we needed to stop at all?
So far, I mean, I don't know how much in terms of supplies you usually keep on your boat.
If I knew I
Would
was going to
you?
Castile, I would have prepared some. But I know that sometimes the crew likes their time off.
I mean, the crew is never going to say no to some time on shore. Uh, they were sort of waiting on San Juan. I don't think. Presumably, you picked up the job in San Juan, so you actually did go in. You went to at least one seedy bar where three-fingered Roberto gave you the job.
Yep.
Uh,
Uh, how far have we lost this ship that was following us, or is it still?
no, that's going to get to that in just a sec. So
Okay.
it is still behind you, sort of on the horizon. Like it seems to be keeping a pace with you.
Hmm.
And that is where we pick up as you're rounding this sort of point, heading towards the what's it called? I can't read it on my map. Rogny? Rowing. Yeah. Rude.
Okay.
The city that
So
begins with R.
yeah.
Um
Yep.
and it's a fairly sort of there's a low sort of sea fog hanging on the ocean. And you can just see into this fog sort of blurring the cliffs in the background, and you can just see though the shape of this ship behind you, just a shadow in the fog. Almost like one of the ghost ships out of stories, trailing behind you.
Don't like that. I will. Oh, who's my second in command? Hannah.
Hannah, I believe.
Yeah. I'll pull Hannah aside. All right. So it looks like we're not doing the amount of time that we should be doing. I was hoping to let you all have some time in Rouge or Rogue, however the Montaignes pronounce it. But I think we're going to have to start venturing out into the Widow Sea more than anything. Do we think we've got the provisions to kind of venture out into the wilder sea and then before coming back around for the coast? Anna?
Where are you wanting to get on these provisions? All the way to Innismore?
No. I think if we can make good time and we can lose this ship, we can try to stop in Prevost.
Yeah.
I'd hate to have to go to try to push us all the way to Arison, but
We should definitely. Addison, we've potentially got enough, but we've definitely not got enough to get to Prevost. I'm
Yeah.
not sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. I can never get my head around these Montaigne names.
The Montaignes, they love their vowels.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
let's try to make some.
Yeah, if we can try and lose them, maybe.
Yeah. Let's shoot around the instead of heading towards Rouge. Let's or Rogu. Let's head further south into the Widow Sea and then kind of try to come back around. See if we can lose them that way.
Okay, I'm gonna say. I mean, this isn't exactly like a high stakes action. I think this is like a slow crawl of a chase. But I'm gonna say that heading out away from the coast, out into the sea, is a risk.
Sure.
This could lead you into other danger here. So you're trying to lose this ship.
Yep.
But in doing so, you could be consequences here of running into all manner of other dangers out in the sea, be it storms, pirates.
I mean, they call it the Widow Sea for a reason, so.
Yeah, there's always the Kraken.
Yep, always.
So,
what would you like me to roll?
Well, I believe there's one fairly obvious what's it? I always get my
Sailing?
skills. Yeah, it does sound like sailing.
Oh, good, because my ride is low.
Yeah, this is sailing.
I'm good at that.
Sailing with. What do you think would be?
I mean, it's either for me. It's either going to be wits or resolve.
I'd say it sounds more like a wits in terms of this is like sort of. Essentially, this is reading sea charts. This is.
Yeah.
Navigational. This is skill of.
Yeah, I just said resolve because it feels like it's more instinctual, but I'm okay with wits. It is something that I was taught.
It is fine. So yeah. So
all right. And I get a bonus die because I haven't used the skill yet.
No. Yeah, so bonus die. You've got.
Booyakasha. 3 raises.
3 raises.
And have an unspent 7, it looks like.
So I'm going to say that.
You want to buy my 7?
I can only buy a raise, can't I? Not unspent that.
I thought you could only buy dice. But yeah, if it's a raise, it's a raise. I have 3. So let's see. Let's do some wheeling and dealing.
Wheeling and dealing. It's been a long week, guys. So avoiding shaking the ship is a raise.
Okay.
But I'm going to say there's consequences here. Is
sure.
Sailing into danger. To completely avoid danger, it's going to cost both your raises. To partially avoid it will cost one of them. But there is an opportunity here
To impress the new crewmates, I agree.
to impress the new crewmates, definitely.
So
And
I'll use all three.
so you're avoiding all danger, steering out the way.
Yep. Looking as heroic as possible while I do it.
Einar makes a mental note of the captain's cowardly nature, not wanting to go head first into a fight.
Okay, yeah, I buy unused dice. I was getting that wrong last week.
Sure. I mean, I don't want to get into a fight in unfamiliar waters. Once we get into Innismore, then I'll gladly turn and bring guns to bear.
Okay, so for now you try to avoid whoever's following you. So you steer out further away from the shore, out into the Widow's Sea. Picking fair winds, steering out further from the coast. As you make your way around the coast, and as day turns to night and day again, you think you've shaken off your pursuit. Whoever they are, you've lost sight of them. The sea's a little rougher out here. The boat's tossed side by side. It's no storm, but the weather's definitely not great and a little rocky from side to side as the boat tosses its way out. You can see you're reaching the point where you're going to have to start sort of steering in back towards the coast if you want to resupply and restock.
Yep, that's gonna have to be the new course.
Okay. And as the day goes on, as you head in, you see another ship. But this one is ahead of you. And it seems to be heading out from the coast on a path to intercept you.
Oh,
And this ship is flying Montaigne colours.
yes it is.
Now, all as you see this, you get called out by Hannah. It's like spots it first and then calls it to everyone's attention. So everyone is sort of up down the rail. You can see this boat ahead, and it's on your current heading. It is on a path to intercept. It's up to you if you want to carry on sort of staying away from the coast, steer out and avoid it. Try and do some fancy sailing to get around it, or sail straight towards it.
Yep.
And all
Hannah,
all four of you are sort of up on the rail. You can see this.
Hannah, have Gertrude bring up the white sail and let them know that we want to parley. We are in foreign waters, after all.
Aye,
Powder, why don't you take Einar here and Mr. Heller and get the guns ready just in case.
yes. Follow me. She leads down below. Have either of
Einar will
you used
follow.
guns on a ship before?
I have two sailing. Up there.
I mean, were you with us the last time we had to use the cannon?
Was I there? Yes.
Ah. Were you using the cannon? No.
No.
Right, well. And I know, you any experience with cannon?
Well, I mean, I imagine having been on ships before, he'd be familiar with them, but he's more of the get off the boat and kill something with an axe or his fists.
Like Powder looks at him and goes, no, I don't think you don't look like.
Oh yeah,
Have
no,
you ever
Einar.
used a cannon before?
Oh, I'm
He leans in and asks
familiar,
you.
but yeah, I'm familiar, but more comfortable on deck for boarding party.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that.
So hopefully it will.
If it comes to cannons, things have gone badly already.
Need another
He
accident.
hammers the side of the ship. See that? New word. Repairs from last time.
It's done. Repairs done. Good job.
Oh, the boat is still above the water. So she starts sort of walking down the line and sort of starting to explain what you'll need to do if this comes to um, rolling out the guns.
Yeah, for the record, Einar's got 3 in weaponry. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, it's just if he has a preference, he wants to kill it with an axe because that's how people sing the stories of his greatness, which is what all of this is ultimately for. Um, like, nobody sings a song about the dude who, like, the skalds don't tell the stories of the guy who lights the cannon fuse. It's like, no, you want the guy who's boarding and chopping people up. And yeah, so that, yeah, Einar will listen and he'll do what he's asked to do, but the first chance he gets to go up deck and put in some elbow grease, he'll do that.
Mhm.
So Einar and Carsten are down with powder below. Currently, that leaves Finlay and Antonio upon the deck. Along with crews that are running around preparing as the white flag ascends the mast. And yes, you're putting out the flags to parley. As you draw nearer to the boat, you hear a voice call out to you. Ahoy there, Star Hopper! This is the
Yes,
Madame Sophia at Montaigne Coast Guard.
Madame Sophia. That's not a good name for. That's not a good name for a ship now. Superstitions and all. How can we help you?
We had a report of pirates in this area. I can't do my French accent's gone all the way. I need to roll up to this.
It's gone all North English.
I imagined it.
We are inspecting. No. We're inspecting all vessels looking for suspected pirates. Allow us to board?
Of course, the Star Hopper is a pirate hunter. I was not Finnish.
Pirate hunter. Who do you hunt?
It's in the name. Pirates, obviously.
Ah, but who is pirates? Monsieur?
Well, we'll talk once you're aboard. And
A boat is descending from the other boat.
I'll call down. Potter, could you send Einar back up here?
Yep. Up you go, big guy. Maybe this is your chance.
Oh, the first chance that he gets to not be below deck, he'll not eagerly because he doesn't want to seem like too psychotic, but yeah, he'll gladly make his way up, brandishing his axe.
To be fair, it's probably a bit cramped there with him.
Yeah. Hannah, could you bring down the anchor and turn us just ever so slightly so that we're prepared to do a full bore if we have to?
Yes, they're also coming around. We'll face a full broadside from then if we do.
Understand.
I think you guys on there have the similar line of thought.
So for the new ones, Mr. Daldana, if they get on board and they seem to be dangerous, I trust that you're really good with your sword.
Oh, definitely. I don't think I'll find anyone better than me. With a sword, at least.
Noted.
I haven't mentioned I'm a duelist should one be needed as well.
Understood. Mr. Einar, if everything comes to bore and there is some action, I trust that if need comes, you can disengage us from the anchor so that we can make haste.
I'll do minimal damage to your boat, Captain.
Good. As long as more damage happens to them, we'll consider it even.
You have a deal.
Perfect.
And you see up the side of the boat, up the side of the ship, come 4 figures. One of whom seems to be in charge, is the gentleman you were talking to before, who's hailing you. He's wearing a very lovely brocade jacket and an excellent hat. Got a feather in it.
Of course it does.
Ah. Good morning.
Morning.
May I and my men inspect your ship? Make sure you're not carrying any smuggled goods
Of course.
or anything stolen from peaceable merchants.
No, you'll find none of that, but sure. Are you the captain of your ship?
Yes. Henri de la Corselle.
Mr. Cosell, I am Captain Finley Abernathy of Innismore. I'm surprised that you haven't heard of the Starhopper, given how close Montaigne is to the Glamour Isles.
Ah, I see.
You must spend a lot of time in the south.
I
Nothing
am.
wrong with that.
Maybe you're not quite as famous as you think you are.
Oh, I mean, not every ship is like the Sophia Harden or whatever your ship is called.
The Madame Sophia.
All right, right. I got some of it right.
She's a beautiful vessel, don't you think?
I mean, sure. Yeah,
New out of the shipyards.
Hasn't been tested then, is what you're saying.
Not
Noted.
yet, no.
Please.
But has some of the finest new cannons available.
Of course. And
It's just
only
we
the
have
best.
not had the opportunity to test them. But we
Right.
get the opportunity to test them against any, I don't know, Inish pirates that might be straying into our waters.
Inish pirates. You'll never find one. Not down here, at least. That's more of a concern for Veston, and I kind of pat Einar on the forearm.
Oh, okay. Western pirates, then.
I mean,
Or he kind of looks around. Should I be looking for Castilian ones?
oh, you'll find no Castilian pirates here.
No?
We do have a duelist from Castile, in case any of your men wish to challenge. I don't think it'll go well for them, though, if we're being honest.
I would not need to drag any of my men in to fight my duels for me.
Oh. Well, Mr. De Aldana, be careful.
Now, please, let's get this over quickly before this.
Please. The smell of cheese and wine is overpowering.
All I smell is garlic and onions.
Montaigne dishes is what you're smelling, Mr. Einar. They do love their onions.
Does this
Maybe
captain
you should
have a
clean up-
duelist pin? Just
you look, you see,
Just
yes,
noticing.
you see a little duelist pin through
can I
his
tell
collar.
what school it is?
Um,
Which academy, I mean? 'Cause is it like the traditional one for the
have a
country?
look.
I don't know whether I'd recognise it. I'm just being nosy. It's what
Don't
I recognise it, but I
you
don't
can't
see
quite
it.
see it at this angle. You try to
That's
get a
okay.
good.
I recognise it's what there. People claiming to be duelists who aren't can get into a bit of trouble.
They can indeed. They can indeed, but
Also, waiting for this guy to say the wrong thing to Einar, because insulting a large Vestin pirate is also problematic.
oh yes, this is all. Look,
Only if you're hot-headed.
the Valrue School, I think. The Valrue School. As he sort of eyes you up and down, looks up, Einar up and down, and then goes, well, let's begin our inspection.
So
Because-
Einar immediately, because he looked at him when he said it, will literally drop trow, exposing himself.
Einar's not that.
Inspect away.
It's not that kind of inspection, I believe.
Captain,
You know what? To be fair, they are Montaigne, so I don't know how they inspect the ships.
We did not. That is not required.
No.
Your crew
Hannah,
can keep their clothes on.
all right. Einar,
But Einar put his
please.
pants back on and then just stand
No.
there staring
Hannah,
at the minuscule man.
Hannah, if you could show our guests around.
Yes. Come this way. And she leads him and his the three people with him. You see, who mostly just been keeping quiet, looking around during this conversation. You notice two men and a woman, all sort of dressed as sort of well dressed for sailors, but they do look to be sailors by their appearance.
Well, Carson's below. Can he see the other ship, like the people moving around?
Yes.
Do I get a feel for, are they anxious? Are they just doing their regular shit? Can I make a roll for that somehow? Something?
Looking over at the deck, you can see they seem to be prepared. There's an element of like they're not sort of doing aimless tasks. Like they're watching. You see the flash of like a spyglass of someone sort of surveying your ship from their ship. Like they're definitely poised, as though they're ready in case things were about to kick off.
Is the who was down? Who let us down here, and are they still with us?
So you went downstairs with Powder earlier.
Powder. Okay. Can,
So if
Powder,
you're still there, yeah.
Yeah, Powder, can you let the captain know the other crew is ready to kick off at a moment's notice?
I think Antonio will be probably looking at the other ship as well and inspecting them in the same way they're inspecting us.
Yeah.
So I'll just keep I'll keep a cannon trained on the about the water line of this ship just in case.
So you sent Hannah down with the crew. If any of you going with it, or is it just Hannah down there? She gives him the torso.
Hannah, Carson is down there, so I trust him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look down at the dinghy that they came in.
Yes.
You
see this one other crew member just sat down there. Looks to be like just kind of raises the hand, gives a little.
Would you like to come up and have something to drink, sir?
No. I am watching the boat.
Which boat? Yours or ours?
He kind of points at the boat he's sat in, this little dinghy.
Oh.
If you
all
want
right.
If you're trying to lure him up here, we can. If that's part of the employ or plan.
I mean, I'll tell you what. I'll send somebody down to hand you a bit of wine, and I just look at Einar. Einar, could you go and make yourself introductory to our friend down there?
Einar gives him this big grin, and then smiles, takes the wine, and goes to parlay.
You descend down. As you hit this boat, it kind of rocks a little wildly from side to side. The Montaigne crewman says, hi. Huh?
I'm proud of you for not jumping directly down into his boat from our boat. You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Hey, we're being civil for now. Like, Einar's got tact when he needs it. Besides, there's only two people on the boat that Einar is now currently in, which means Einar's the captain of the dinghy. And then Einar's gonna start drinking with the Montaigne pleb and get him obliterated. And since Einar has able drinker, he'll match him drink for drink until the guy passes out.
So that's just your goal, just to get the guy so drunk he passes out.
Oh yeah, it won't. So able drinker, like Einar can literally drink this guy's weight in alcohol and it won't affect him.
Oh, yeah.
So
just checking if you had any ulterior motives here.
No, the captain told me to drink with this guy, and so Einar's gonna do exactly that. And then if the guy gets blitzed and falls out of the boat, it's not Einar's fault.
No, I'm not gonna fall out of the boat. No.
hey, you'll take drink, I take drink, and Einar will sort of like act like he's getting drunk to sort of make the guy not initially suspicious. But yeah, Einar is waiting for this guy to pass the fuck out.
And then he slipped probably back into Montaigne. I'm not sure you understand his language. Telling some kind of story about something, but
Einar just assumes he's talking about cheese and surrendering.
hey, Montaigne is a proud
Typical
military
Montaigne.
nation.
Cheese and surrendering.
We have
there.
one of the greatest military might in the continent.
It was more of a French comment than it was a Montaigne comment.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, historically, so did France. Military giant France.
Yeah. Cheese eating surrender monkeys.
For most of history, you do not fuck with the French. Anyway, where was that? Oh yes, back on the ship. So Finlay and Antonio are up on the deck as Carsten is down below as this little like inspection tour is being led down. You see Hannah sort of pointing out things, and like the Montaigne Captain de la Corselle kind of nodding, kind of poking things a little as he looks around. And they head sort of down to the hold. And you probably notice that he doesn't seem to be an incredibly attentive inspection. Like, he keeps to, like, prod stuff, he, like, just kicks the edge of one of the cannons, like, looks like a cannon. But he doesn't seem to be actively searching for anything. And they head down into the hold.
Just gonna pull Antonio to the side for a second. Mr. Daldana, did you recognize the man's dueling pin? Is it a real thing?
He is definitely a duelist. I didn't have a chance to have a proper look at it. But it is definitely one of the duelist academies.
So he might be a dangerous person then.
He may be. I don't.
Did the other soldiers that are with him look dangerous to you?
Storyteller. Were they all armed, and what were they armed with?
They were all armed, so we've got some short swords. One of them had a pistol. The woman didn't look to be armed. No, I know she had a knife. She had a knife.
I'm more worried about the lady who's with them. I find it unusual. They were all armed. She only had a knife. I'm wondering if she's a magic user of some fashion.
That would be an interesting trick. Carrying a Montaigne magic user on a ship.
I don't know a great deal about their magic.
They're interesting, if the stories are true.
There's always some truth in stories. Did you want me to keep an eye on them whilst they're here and join the inspection?
I think yes. Let's have you go down and join Karsten on the gun deck.
Why not?
Just in
the moment
case.
the inspection's gone down into the hold itself. Like, they've gone down to look at the hold. So neither Carsten or anyone else has eyes on them apart from Hannah at the moment. Carsten, I can't hear you.
Karsten's going to Karsten's going to curse Ben first off, and then he's going to follow. He's going to follow not directly up to them, but he's going to keep his eye on them. Just
so you're following down as they go into the hold.
Yep.
It's dark and cramped down here, and you hear Adela calls. I go, look, some space. Miguel, you go upstairs. Lady, I didn't get your name. Anna. You take Miguel, show him the front of the ship, show him the galley. That's what you call it. We will just finish a quick look around here.
Gosh, when Karsten hears that,
Mr.
I didn't give you my name, but no, you don't.
No.
I did not, and you do not get to be unsupervised below decks. on my good friend Captain Finley's ship.
I think, as the official representative of the Montaigne Navy, I think I do.
You are the
Leave us to
official
inspect.
representation, and I point at my ass.
Now, there is no need for that. We are here on good business. You are one step above pirates.
And you are one step above onions.
This is exactly the kind of disrespect I expect from the
This is me being nice. Now,
munching, marsh dwelling.
blah, 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 blah. Anywho, yeah, you are not going to be unsupervised below decks.
Fine. Fine. Stay here and supervise us. Are we done
Excellent.
yet? We are done, Captain. Excellent. It appears we are done. You are not, in fact, hiding any stolen goods. None of your goods here are worth stealing anyway. Where are you heading anyway? Well, where are you going?
You'd have to ask the captain that question.
He doesn't share knowledge with you. He keeps his
Hmm.
secrets tied to his chest, then?
Yes, I believe it may have been your mother's dwelling, but I'm not sure.
And this is probably what just you could see. You see Delacorte so take a deep breath, like he's trying to rein it in. So you're down here. There's Delacorte, there's the woman, and there's one of the man down here, and you down in the hold of the ship.
Well, if you were done, then I will.
And you see Delacorte's sort of fist coming in. He's had enough with you.
Excellent.
So
time to kick it off.
It's just you down here. So I'm gonna have to ask a roll for what your approach is. And we'll see when the others. You know what happens when the others find out about this little life in the hold.
Fuck yes. All right, let's see. Let's pull up the old character
Whilst
sheet.
you have a look at that and make your rolls, we go back to the boat outside where you've got and then je contemple je mange mon règle je vis ton petit village and he falls sideways into the splash into the water.
The only thing worse than a French accent is a bad French accent. And Einar will make a very minimal effort to, when the guy starts to like pass out, to steer him towards over the edge of the boat. And then take his axe, basically cut a hole in the bottom of the dinghy, and then go back up the ladder back to our boat.
Okay, so the drunk guy fell overboard.
Yeah, I'm gonna sink their dinghy. It's my
You're
boat
sinking
now.
their
I can do what
Okay.
I can do what I want with it. It's my boat now. At which point I'm gonna go back onto our boat and do what the captain originally told me, which was be ready by the anchor in case we have to leave.
Okay, so as their little thingy starts to sink, as Einar climbs back up, up on the deck, Finlay and Antonio, you see like the flash of the spyglass from the crew of the Montaigne vessel. So they seem to take in this attempt, and then you see slowly along all the side of the Montaigne vessel the gun ports opening.
I know that's the cue. If you needed a visual representation of when we needed you to do your thing, Ferdinand, get us underway, please. Full sails.
As Ferdinand goes for the sails, we're going to go back down into the hold, where Karsten, what approach are you taking here? And what have we got?
I can let's see. So if he's swinging at me, I believe as a good Ison man, I can take a single punch from a weakling Montaigne person. So my approach will be to make a ruckus as much as possible, knock a barrel over, do something to alert the above decks that something is going
my
on.
central question here is what sort of approach are you taking in terms of what would you like to roll to get your raises here?
So I
So
think if I can have a barrel, I can find a barrel or pick it up and just toss it at someone, at one of them. That's just something. If there's a box or something.
So this is just to get the raises for what?
Yeah.
So you're aiming to sort of grab a barrel and toss it at them. Whether you or he go first will depend very much on what he rolls.
Yep.
In terms of. Bear with me one moment whilst I. So skills, traits, and skills. So you're aiming to like chuck barrels, make a ruckus, make a noise. What are you thinking here? I'm thinking this sounds more like brawn and brawl, but
brawl.
I'll accept counter offers if you've got a better idea.
What if I were to kick a barrel and use like athletics or something? Would that be a different? Kick something over, something heavy.
Athletics. If you're going mainly for the surroundings, and you're trying to like make a ruckus. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So let's see. Bronze.
Let's give this guy a couple more dice.
Now, how do I include my legendary trait on that?
What is your legendary trait, and what is
brawn?
it?
It's brawn, and it gives me an extra die if I remember. Is that right, Rev?
So yeah, just add an extra die.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
10.
Oh, it gives me a 10. It gives me a 10.
One of your dice is automatically a 10.
Remember that you can always just roll with real dice, or just roll by going like /R, however many d10s you want. Like.
So let's see. So that's 3. Well, technically, actually, is it 3? Because one of them is an extra. Is technically already a 10. So 40. So that's actually 4.
Do 10s explode?
I don't have. I think you need to have like 4 or 5 rank, right? Is that no?
Is that something to do with the ship? One of the talents or abilities or qualities of the ship?
Yeah. If you're fighting a pirate, which I would assume these count as.
These are not pirates, no.
I mean, they're not working for the crown.
Yeah, these are not actually pirates. This is Coast Guard.
All right, then you don't get the extra dice.
That's fine. So if we make one of my die 10, then I have 4 success. 4.
You've got 4
raises.
So you are going first.
Nice.
So it's 1 raise for an action, and you're going to sort of smash barrels. Is that your plan here?
Basically, it's a disruption technique. There's 3 of them and 1 of me. I mean, I'm running my mouth. I understand that, but let's get some distractions in front of them. So I'll just start tossing merchandise at them, barrels, boxes, just tip stuff over.
Okay, so it's just trying to change the circumstances and make it a bit harder for them, make it more challenging for them to get to you.
And if it makes noise and they hear and people come down to help, cool. Yeah.
Okay. So this is all going fast. There's everyone's running, preparing action stations above us. This ruckus breaks out below. So we now bring to I believe this is Delacorsel's opportunity to do something. So he was going to punch you. That was his basic action here. So he is going to spend one of his raise here to cause you just a single wound. You can, I believe, yeah, that would be a single wound. Unless you can do anything about this. This is where his fist swings round. This is not like major injury. This is more like he's just pissed off. Like he's been disrespected from the moment you turn up in his face.
Disrespected? Jeez.
His fist impacts out. So that's a single wound from him. Then it's over to you. What do you want to do?
How many raises did I use for the
Just the one. Just the one. You've got 3 of your raises left. So you can actually try and cause him some actual damage if you want. After the 2 of you run out of raises, it's going to be over to the Brute Squad, which is these 2 guys he's got with him.
Okay. So, the Brute Squad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take.
Not just you and him.
I'm going to take a swing. At him.
Okay.
Trying to find damage on the character sheet.
It's a little
Oh,
spiral
just
swirly bit.
one. I got it right there.
Mark one of those.
And then with my other two, is there a door to this part of the hole?
So, how much damage are you trying to cause here? What are you trying to do? So you
Similar, just a quick bop. Let's just a quick bop in the face.
Okay. Voice of knowledge on this system. Is that just a single raise, or is it a raise for the action plus a raise? Actually, no. This is different from your initial aim, so that will cost you an extra raise, plus a raise to cause 1 point of damage, 1 raise worth of damage. Just 2 raises then for a punch like that.
Yep. Because the action has the like if it's a formula, you have your A, which is the punch, and then your equal sign is the damage. So, but the equal, whatever is after the equal sign, can be bumped. So if he does 1 damage base, actually, I think he does his brawn for physical attacks. So he would do his brawn, and then on top of that, any extra raises would go to as the extra damage on a 1-for-1 basis. So it doesn't make sense to do that in this situation.
Here it just says spend 1 raise to cause 1 wound. It doesn't say anything about it being brought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
Just 1 raise to 1 wound.
I thought it was part of the legendary trait, but yeah.
Unless you've got some trait or something there that does it.
Just a legendary brawn. So you know what? I don't have enough. Like even with the 1 raise left, I wouldn't be able to. I would imagine let run, but
well, he's gonna have another turn first. You've got 1 raise left. It's now him. He's got 2 raises still.
So then I'll save my raise then until he goes. That's if that
so
is that a thing.
Is going to, you know what? So he punched you. You punched him.
Yeah.
He sees that this is starting to get out of hand. Kind of like, don't let him get out there. And then sounds, well, he would say that in Montaigne, which you presumably may or may not understand.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then he like reached out foot and he's going to try and like essentially like grab you, trip you, and like get you down so you can't just leg it out of there. Like that's against his thing. So like trips you, pulls you down.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Damn it! All right.
You've got a single raise left here.
But I'm on the ground.
Yeah.
Is he holding me?
Yeah, but yeah.
I'm going to. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to pants him if I can.
You're going to try? Okay,
yep.
You're just going to try and grab his
trousers and just pull him down.
So you're currently wrestling with the Montaigne captain on the ground, and you're trying to pull his trousers down. That is your
well, I'm on the ground. I
really
can't punch him, so I'm just going to grab something and pull. So nothing, the phrasing, of course, but I'm just going to grab something and pull.
You have a weird way of initiating tummy swords.
Yes. It's the Ison way, my good friend.
So you start pulling the captain's trousers down. You hear it like a bewildered shout.
He's giving him an inspection.
Then just like, gives you just a firm kick.
Yes.
And then you feel like the press of like a knife blade, and no ideas, Eisen.
Plenty of ideas.
And you die.
Okay.
This is a question to you: is do you want to continue to fight, or are you?
No, cut to the chase. Cut to the chase.
Okay, so as this is all going on downstairs, there's gun ports open, and someone hails you from the deck of the Madame Sophia. Return our captain to us, or we open fire.
Has Einar cut us free of one of our anchors? Okay. Yeah. Once he is finished, we'll send him over. Sure. Could you send us a ship? It seems like something happened to yours.
Your man got drunk. He fell in water.
Oh, that's terrible.
Sank boat. Needs help.
Send him over in your own boat. We need a replacement.
We only have big boat.
Yeah. We don't subscribe to that kind of thinking over here. Our ship belongs in our boat. There's no shame in not having another boat. We'll wait for you if you want to go to shore.
We have another boat, but we're not sending you. You'll sink it like the last boat.
Ferdinand, please, full
I
sails.
didn't sink boat. It was accident. Your man sunk
It was
boat.
not accident.
Einar,
It's all you.
did you sink their boat?
It was accident. Man got drunk, can't handle liquor.
Einar, you should have taken their boat back to them and introduced yourself to the whole crew properly.
I mean, the boat is still there. It's just got water in it.
No. Yeah, that's dangerous then. You don't want to take that anywhere.
But the boat is still there. They can get it.
Well, this argument is going on. So essentially, Ferdinand is raising the sail, like making the leave.
Yeah, I told them we're getting the fuck out.
The Madame Sophia's running out the guns. Powder's like, Captain.
Powder fire!
Pardon?
Fire at will.
Fire!
We're making a run.
Okay, we're doing this. So, Carsten, as you're sort of being hauled up to your feet and sort of marched out of the hold with a knife at your throat, you emerge onto the gun deck as Powder is opening up the hatches and running out the guns. Everyone is running into action.
Yeah. Any Montaigne on my ship, you are considered pirates from here on in as a representative
this is
of
kicking
the.
out, I think, a full-on fight.
How close are the ships together?
They are far enough apart that you need a boat to get across between them, unless you're good at swimming.
Einar is
really good at swinging from a rope on the mast.
So I have 3 in sailing.
Well, this is now a full win. This is no longer a little fight in the hold. This is going to be a full-on action sequence against the Coast Guard. And given that, we're going to begin this after break, so that we don't have to break in the middle of the fight.
There you go.
So we'll be back. Hang on, let me make sure that I do the correct break here.
Oh, yeah.
We are currently on board the Starhopper, and a short distance away is the Madame Sophia, a Montaigne Coast Guard vessel that came aboard to inspect you on suspicion of piracy, and definitely no other nefarious reasons. Their captain, Delacourcelle, boarded your ship, was getting a little tour, and got into a little bit of an altercation with Carsten down below decks. So currently Carsten is, I'm not going to say being held hostage by the captain, because this is a situation that the captain only has a very precarious upper hand on in the moment. So we've got the captain, Delacourcelle, and his 2 henchmen, with Carsten just emerging out of the hold, whilst the guns are being run out as this fight is ready to kick off. The Madame Sophia has her gun ports open, trained on your ship. You're getting sail up, ready to head underway. And my question to each of you is, what are you doing? What are you trying to, essentially, what approach you're taking to this fight that's about to break out? Where are you, and what are you doing?
I'm gonna point over to the Sophia and then look at Einar. I trust you understand what you need to do with that ship, yes? And then I'm gonna run up.
He just gives you a big old smile.
I'm gonna run up and take the wheel and put us in the most advantageous position while trying to avoid their fire.
Okay, this sounds like sailing and something else.
Mm-hmm.
What's something else would you like to go
Uh,
for here?
I mean, wits or finesse is the first thing that comes to mind. But if I'm gonna do it with style,
You're gonna
do
do
it
it with style.
panache.
Yeah, let's do it with panache.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Need to learn about the Star Hopper.
As you make your rolls, get ready. Does anyone else know what approach they want to take here?
I know exactly what Einar wants to do at this point.
Okay.
Before that, do I still get a die bonus for using sailing? Since this is a different
Yeah,
encounter?
it's a different thing. This is a different encounter. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, go ahead.
Einar, what do you want to do?
So Einar is going to take a few steps backward and then use his large size and significant strength to basically launch himself off the side of the boat, to try to get as close to the boat as possible, because my goal is to board the thing and
Okay.
then to start.
This sounds like an athletics and
So I was thinking brawn because he's using like his like power to like
athletics and
run
brawn. Yeah,
and jump.
athletics and brawn sounds good to me. So you make your rolls.
Yep.
Carsten and Antonio, do either of you know what approach you want to take yet?
I've already had really a turn, so let Antonio can go.
I was heading to meet them down decks to see what's going on. So,
Yeah,
what
so
is
you're
the
heading
situation
down.
I arrive at?
So yeah, you emerge down onto the gun deck as you see Carsten and the 3 Montaigne crew emerge from the hold. So you can see that definitely Carsten's in a slightly dicey situation here, but he may be able to get himself out of it. You hear the guns rolling out. You hear commotion up above. This is definitely like about to kick off.
Yeah, what situation is Carsten in? Has he got a knife to his throat, or?
Currently, yes. How long that will be, so you don't know.
Okay, would this be a point I can use my virtue because I haven't used it this session? Which is basically to go first. What's the chances I could disarm move to get the knife away from his throat before anyone else moves?
I mean, you might be able to, yeah. I mean, if you go first, then you go first.
I'll use
that's
adaptability to make sure I go first before anyone else can act. And I'll basically I want to get the knife away from his neck without harming him, obviously.
Okay,
So I'll probably
Antonio, you're up
possibly
first.
try to disarm or
So
something like that.
That's a hero point, yes, adaptability?
Nope, I don't
No,
know. It's
just-
virtue. Do you use them for
Or is
virtue?
it just do first?
I don't think so.
Okay, perfect.
I can use it once per session.
All right.
Yep.
In which case, what approach are you taking here? So, just in terms of knowing how many other razors we've got here to work with.
I reckon it'll be finesse. I'm guessing weaponry.
Finesse and
rather than
weaponry
aim.
sounds good to me.
That
Let's get
makes
rolling.
sense.
Okay, Carsten, what approach? You see, Antonio is sort of heading towards you. He seems to be making to disarm the captain. What approach do you want to be taking here, Carsten, with the situation you're in?
Since I can't guarantee, I don't know him, and I can't guarantee that he'll be able to do whatever it is he's thinking of doing, I'm probably just going to fall back on mouthing off again.
Okay,
Let's
mouthing up.
Yeah. So
what are you attempting to do here?
let's see. I don't
Sounds like
really.
you're trying to create opportunities.
I really am. I'm trying to. If it throws them off, then that would be ideal to help. You know what? Yeah, that's right. I'm going to try and help. What's his face? Sorry, Antonio. With
what's his face?
What's his face?
Antonio de Antonio.
What's that?
Antonio de Antonio.
Yeah. So I'm gonna whatever he's planning, I'm going to try and keep them distracted, so he might have a better chance of doing it.
Okay.
So that means mouthing off to these guys, and I will do that.
Okay, so mechanically, what you'll be rolling here.
Let's see. I don't have a lot of social. I could do. Is it panache and tempt, or panache? Maybe
It sounds like perhaps
wits and
intimidate, or
we do wits and intimidate.
or
I don't have perform, so
or convince. It sounds much like intimidate. I'm going to be honest.
okay. I'll just do I'll do wits and intimidate. That either
Okay.
panache and wits are the same. So
All right,
let me do that.
get rolling. So let's do a rolling. Let's do the maths. Einar, how many raises did you get? 3 for
3.
Einar. Was that 3? Finlay.
2, because Roll20 hates me.
Okay, interesting. Antonio, how many raises did you get? You're muted, by the way, just in case that matters.
It's okay, I'm just trying to do maths because I think my legendary trait gives me an automatic 10 as well. 10s haven't exploded this time. They're not classed as pirates, are they? Or not?
They're not pirates.
That's okay. Then that's only 5 raises.
Only 5.
Only 5.
Only 5.
I'm rolling my best stats. Oh, hang on.
5 is quite a lot of raises,
Actually,
just to point this out.
Would it count as a sword fight or duel in some fashion, like a sword fight? If that's the case, my fencing skills give me get an extra dice.
I mean, he's only got a knife out so far. He's not in a
So yeah,
no duel has been
I wouldn't
begun.
class it as a
Yeah, I wouldn't class it as
proper
a
fight.
duel.
So we're just
Not listen to
it's more a
formal
maneuver I'm
circumstances.
trying than an actual fight as such. So yeah, it's only 5 raises.
Okay. And Karsten, how many raises have you got?
2.
2. Okay. So, Antonio, you go first. You've got 5 raises. What's your first? So your first action, you're gonna come running across and just knock the knife from his hand. Was that the?
Basically, trying to catch the knife from a blade and disarm him.
So, he's spinning the knife out of his hand. He winces as you knock the knife aside. It clatters to the ground. You've got 4 raises. You've still got the most raises.
Oh,
What next?
I think. Ooh. So is the captain and 2 others with him effectively?
Yes,
The
captain
2
and
others,
2 others. Yes,
are they classed as a brute squad? The
they're
other 2?
classed as a brute squad. There's 2 of them.
So could I basically try to take both the brute squad out at the same time? I don't know if I can.
So
I don't know how it works.
how would you like to try and do this? What are you using to do this? What are you doing?
Is there something nearby, like barrels that are tied up? Because we are in the hold, aren't we? Or
You are up the step. You're onto the gun deck here. There's around you. There are cannons. There's shot. There's like cannonballs, and there is gunpowder. Choose your decisions wisely.
exactly.
You are currently on your boat.
I'll basically try to strike whichever one of the brute squad is nearest to me. Just a straightforward slash at them.
Okay. So yeah, this would be a raise to cause. I mean, unless you want to do anything fancy with your dueling, but be a raise to cause a wound if you're not doing anything fancy, and that would take one of the brutes out of the fight.
Oh, yeah, I want to take one of them out if possible to try and even up the numbers.
Okay.
There's 3 of them and now 2 of us.
So you take one of them out. That takes you down to 3 raises, bringing Delicorsel into the roll. He draws his blade. And it looks, he sees that he's not in a good situation here. Like, there's a lot of crew, there's a lot of boat between him and the exit, but you're on his way. And his attention flits away from Karsten to you, Antonio, as he like points his blade at you and goes, "So, I see this is a challenge after all."
Seems that way.
And he's trying to sort of pull attention from you onto him. He's like focusing you down, and he sorry, got the want to check the rules for fights in this. I like the ethos of this game. The rules for fights in this game. As he points his blade and draws his blade, he said he wants to try and like stab you. And I think that just costs a raise.
Yeah, just 1 raise per attack, and each attack does 1 damage.
Yes.
Unless you throw more raises into it to deal more damage.
Yes. I'm just checking what the bonus. Oh, wield a hunting sword. He draws his blade, and you see he looks at. He hasn't got his dagger for his other hand, which is really upsetting for him, because he's a kind of dagger one hand, sword one-handed fighter. That is his style.
Strange enough, Antonia has a sword and a dagger as well.
Yeah.
But at
This
least
guy's
I've got
missing a
both.
dagger. It's no longer a fair fight. So you know what? He's going to throw a couple of razors in there to try and cause 2 wounds to Antonio. But that brings us to Einar. You want to spend a raise to go diving off this boat into the water? Is that your plan?
Yep.
Yes, go splashing, sort of swimming towards the other vessel. Now everyone is on 2. So Einar, Finley, and Karsten, you're all on 2. Oh no. And we've got Antonio who's still got 3. Sorry. Antonio, back to you.
I'm not too keen on being stabbed again, so I'm going to have to do something about this. And I mean, this could be a fair fight and could fight cleanly, but I'm not a clean fighter. My academy is not a clean dueling academy. I'm going to try and disarm him so he has no weapons. I've got the 2 razors. I don't know if I can do it with both. I'm not trying to inflict damage, just get the sword out of his hand. I don't know how that would count.
I would say that would be 2 razors to completely do this without avoiding the consequence of getting stabbed in the process. Or 1 raise if you want to get slightly stabbed in the process.
No, I would. Well, I'll use both. What the hell? It's more funny the fact that I've disarmed him from his dagger and now his sword as well. I mean, I'll go with that. I'll try and get the sword out of his hand.
So you knock the blade. No, you do not fight fair.
Who does? Doesn't matter how you win as long as you're the winner.
There is no true duelist you are. And that brings us, to Einar, Finlay, and Karsten all have 2. But Finlay and Karsten haven't had a chance to do anything yet. So I'm going to ask you to, do either of you know what you want to do as your first? Actually, Karsten is down there, right here in the hold. So I'm going to start with Karsten before I forget him. So the captain's been disarmed. The guy is down on the ground, sort of clutching his side. The woman is still there.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
So are we in the hallway still? Is that what you said?
You're just like at the top of the stairs leading up from the hold to the gun deck. There are no real like hallways here. It's all quite cramped, close quarters.
Well, and who was disarmed? The captain?
Antonio has.
Antonio's disarmed the captain.
Yes.
Okay. This is not the original plan because now I'm free. Can I just pick up one of the other brute squad and drag them outside onto the deck?
Yes, it will cost you an additional raise because this was not what you were originally intending to do.
Yeah,
but, you can drag the woman out. Start dragging the woman up to the deck.
Yep. Just to clear the area, let them fight, and then I can actually use my Zweihander.
Yeah, just dragging this woman out onto the deck of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She's struggling. She seems to be trying to like do something with a knife as you're dragging her, but she's currently being dragged along the length of this gun deck.
She's Montaigne. It's probably a brie knife, so it's very, very blunt.
It's meant for cheese.
Exactly.
And you are not made of cheese.
No.
Okay, Einar and Finlay, both of you are up top. Both of you on 2 razors here.
Yep. I'm staying the course. Trying to bring us into a clean angle of attack while also avoiding their broadside.
Okay, this is going to be difficult.
Mhm.
Like, they've got quite a lot of guns. I mean, they've got more guns than you.
Sure, but I'm faster.
You're faster. So this, So you just trying to bring the ship around. Yes. It's a raise. What opportunities have we got here? I guess you've got a choice here. You can either put yourself in a position where you're in a better position to fire upon them, but you're going to risk taking more damage from them, or you can put yourself in a position where you're making your escape faster, not going to be able to cause them much damage. But
I forgot that because we're Avalonian, I get 2 more dice for. So that actually brings you up to 3 risks for any speed or maneuverability risks. So I got 3 raises for this actually.
Okay, so it's 1 raise just to do the maneuvering here. But my question is, what are we going for? Are you trying to put yourself in the best position to attack them, or your best position to escaping? Is this escaping your priority here?
With Einar jumping into the water, I think we're going to go for the best position to attack.
Okay. So you bring the boat around to put yourself in a position to attack.
Yeah.
Alright. That still leaves you now, I think, with 2 razors, unless I am mistaken in how the hell razors work.
This is all the dealer's choice.
Yeah.
Because normally it's 1 raise to just accomplish whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Unless there's consequences to it. So I would imagine that.
I'm going to say the consequences here are going to be damage to the ship.
Correct.
And to everyone on it.
So one raise would be to outmaneuver them. 1 raise to be to put myself in a position to attack them. And then 1 raise would be to avoid as much damage.
Yes,
one
I'm going to say
1 point of damage.
To negate the damage. To reduce the damage here.
By 1.
Okay. By 1. So the damage is reduced by 1. You can still probably going to be taking some damage here, but it's going to be less than it would be. As you bring the ship around, you're putting yourself in a good position.
Yep.
I know. You reach the edge of their ship. What are you doing?
So I've reached the ship. So then is it then another raise to get onto the ship?
I'm gonna say climbing aboard. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a raise. And I'm gonna say, given the fact that this is essentially get on deck. It was as you come into the deck, you see someone trying to like essentially whack you over the head with like a belaying pin that's used for like ropes. So it's going to be 1 raise to get on deck, and the consequence, you're potentially taking some points of damage here from being like people trying to beat you off the boat. You can spend an extra raise to not take any damage getting onto the boat.
I'll take the damage.
Okay, well, in which case you're on the deck. You take another point of damage as just kind of clubs you over the head, and you see on the deck of this ship these 5 sailors staring down at you. And you still have 1 raise. Delicassel still got 1 raise back down in the hold of the other ship. He is disarmed. He is not in a good position here, but he still has 1 raise. You see him look around. Wildly looking for a plan. Looking for an idea. And he's just going to try and slide out between the 2 of you, and get past you, Antonio.
Always challenge me to a duel.
He's not got any weapons. You disarmed.
He could still challenge me.
Yeah,
All right, the honourable.
he slides under and he snatches up his blade. He is armed again, ready to get up and fight. He has his sword in hand. He's looking around. He's not much. He is ready. He's ready to fight. but that's it. Antonio, you've still got one raise.
I thought I'd spent both on the last one.
Did you? Okay. In which case, you're down to
Actually,
0.
that's okay. I'm quite happy holding that.
No, as in it's use it or lose it. Like,
Oh, use it, lose it. Has he got a sword and dagger again?
yeah.
I'll disarm him of them.
You can kick one of them out of his hand, yeah?
Yeah, I'll take his sword out. He's only got his dagger.
He needs to get this thing on like a retractable
It's
like
quite
chain.
funny. The only things my character's done in fighting so far is disarm a pistol, disarm a dagger, disarm a sword, and he's going to disarm a sword again.
Wow. Okay.
It's one way to annoy him.
I know. You're up on the deck, being faced down by 5 members of the Montaigne crew. They're ready. They're about to go to town on you. It's about to be their turn.
First question.
They are the brute squad.
Okay.
They have you surrounded.
I figured that much. So
You are a brute squad.
Yep. Show 'em.
Does this count because of what I'm trying to do as putting myself in danger?
Yes.
So I get a
Yes.
hero point for that.
Yes. You just.
I haven't flown off the handle yet, so I'm not going to ask
definitely
that
putting
one.
yourself in danger. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I would like to spend 1 hero point to immediately defeat the brute squad, regardless of strength. But I take a dramatic wound.
Okay. So
Ooh.
you're taking down these 5 men in sort of one flurry of axe blows. Give us some like, what wound are you taking here? How's this going down?
I imagine that like someone gets like maybe like 1 or 2 like nice or like cuts across his chest, because he's kind of throwing himself into it sort of like willy-nilly, so they're trying to go for center mass to try and fell the beast.
Yeah, just one great bloody slash across your chest. Yes.
Almost like Street Fighter Sagat, where it's just like the big old slash over his chest. But yeah, and then he's basically like on the verge of berserker rage at this point. Like this is
You're
the
standing there with
stuff of Vestin legend. Like he's here to seize his destiny.
Okay, yeah, so you're standing there with this bloody slash across your chest and these 5 men on the ground around you. You see, like, the other half of, like, the crew on deck, like, turning with looks of mixture of, like, just... No, actually, no, there's no mixture. There's just looks of pure like, oh, shit on their faces. They realise that, yeah, they're not in a good position here.
And I imagine at points, like, with the Fury... And because he's got this bear pelt that's still got like part of the head on it as part of like the clasp, that he almost seems like a rabid bear just tearing into these people.
Okay, yeah. As the rabid bear tears into the people, that is when essentially 2 broadsides of ship gunfire go off. The guns on the Starhopper and the larger battery of guns on the Madame Sophia. There's just this almighty thundering of sound as like the cannons go off, striking against the hulls of both ships. I think the Sophia probably has a slightly thicker hull, but she's definitely here in a position, not in a great position, so she is taking a good deal of damage here. Let me just check. So this was reduced by 1. Was it just 1 raise of damage against the Starhopper that was reduced, or was it 2?
It was 1 raise to reduce a damage by 1.
Okay.
So depending on how many people they had on their cannons, I'll just subtract their damage by 1.
Okay, so there's 4 points of damage to the Starcracker.
Okay.
As you know. Yeah. I'm going to say because you were well positioned for that one. It's only 4. They couldn't get the full broadside off on you.
Sure.
But if you're not well positioned, if you're badly positioned in the next case, it will be more.
Okay.
Depending on if you stick around.
And that's with the -1.
That's with the -1, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Up on the deck of the Madame Sophia, the other half of the Montaigne brute squad charges in. So essentially, this is the second brute squad here. You've deleted one of the brute squads on the deck. There's a second one on deck. They're charging in on Einar here. Just guns like ready to get this monster off their deck. And let's see, 5 of them. So I believe that will be, they inflict 5 damage. Is that correct?
Yes. Does that mean that they have nobody manning the guns after this?
But the guns being manned by a crew down below. This is on deck. So they've got people on deck.
Right, but a ship only has 10 crew.
What kind of ship only has 10 crew?
That's what the rules. The ship has 10 crew that can be divided into 2 different squads.
10 people manning a ship.
Yep.
Okay, right. Well, I need to revise this. I was basing my numbers on the ship off, the number of people it takes to man a ship.
It's bananas.
Okay, in which case there's no brute squad coming to guide you, because I tended the guns down below.
It's okay. They will have plenty of chance to attack me because I'm coming for them anyway.
Correct.
Let's see the others. I presume that's others on the ship that are not classed as brute squad. Just from my point of realism. Just from not believing that this vessel can be crewed by 10 people.
I mean, you could have another 5-man brute squad come up to intercept Einar, but then that means that there's nobody that can actually.
No, they're manning the guns. If I'm only allowed 10, the other 10, the other 5 are on the guns.
Here's what I will say as the person who's going to take the brunt of this damage personally.
Sure.
It's your game. Mm-hmm. Do whatever you think makes thematic sense for you for your game. They're going to be dead regardless.
The thing is, I'm sure you can spend a danger point to create a brute squad.
You can.
So it could be an extra brute squad there.
Yeah.
Right. In which case, I'm spending my last danger point. There's another one.
Perfect.
Ooh.
Okay, so I take 5 damage.
I get to have my wish of having 5 people come in and club him to death. I mean, to slightly.
Oh, it ain't going to be to death.
No. Oh, no. They come in.
I have hard to kill. It ain't going to be to death.
Some of them are coming up from below. Some of them are coming below. They've still got 5 manning the guns. But yeah, they're not in a good position here.
Okay, so I take 5 damage. So it's 4 wounds. And then so it'll go 4. And then the 5th one is the dramatic, correct?
Let me check the swirly spiral.
Yeah.
Because the spiral is 4 and then the 5th one. Okay.
Yes.
So I already have 1. So does that mean damage goes past?
It doesn't count.
Yeah.
So essentially, I'm gonna take. So I already have 2 damage. So I'm taking 5. So that means I'll fill the next 2 going up to the, and then I go past that 2 more or 3 more. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. So they start laying into you. Back on the main ship. There's a brute squad of 1 still in action. It is the woman. Whether she counts as a brute squad or not is in question here. Because she is about to do something, I think, less brute squaddy.
Carson didn't throw her overboard?
He was dragging her up.
Much disappoint.
Yeah. You got a hold. You dragged her up through the gun deck.
That's just, I didn't have that many raises.
Yeah, you only had 1 raise. There is so much.
Just leaving these wild Montaignians on my ship, bro.
I'm sorry. They, you have one and suddenly you have 10.
Do better.
Just slashes her own hand open with the blade of
Oh,
her
jeez.
knife. And blood splatters on the deck, and then there's this ripping, popping noise in the air. And there is now, in the middle of the gun deck, a raw wound in the fabric of reality. This bleeding tear in space.
Oh, no. No,
And
the
she's
good
starting
captain.
to, like, crawl
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
towards
warned you.
it.
I
You
warned
do
you
that
about this.
You do that on the dinghy. You do that on the dinghy. No magic on the ship.
Also, I know that she's a bad guy for our purposes, so she doesn't have to pay the blood price to open the pleasure. Just so you're aware.
Yeah,
If you want to give her corruption instead, because these guys feel like pretty corrupted to me.
they're a little bit corrupted. Who knows what she's here for? You've got to play a little bit of both sides for dramatic tension. But yes, this bleeding rip in the air as she crawls through and steps through, but the rip is still there. She is not closing it. There is a hole. It's on your boat. And that brings us back to the essentially what would be the top of the round. In this case, the what the hell are you doing now question for what approach are you taking? Einar. You're surrounded by 5 people laying into you on the deck of a Montaigne ship. What are you up to here?
Rip and tear.
Alright. Roll me some dice for an approach of rip and tear. And then work out what races you've got. Finlay.
Damn, if I use sailing again, I won't get a bonus, so I've
Okay.
got to. I think I'm gonna tie off the wheel so that I'm in a constant state of turn.
Okay.
Just kind of measure the slight curvature that I'm going to need for another broadside, but I'm going to pull one of the rifles that I have nearby and try to open fire on somebody on the crew or one of the gunners through their holes.
Okay, you can try and take down the. Okay, roll me some dice for that.
Yep. So that'll be aim and finesse or aim and wits.
Aim and finesse. That
Okay.
sounds good. Antonio. You've still got Delicocel down there.
I have, and my actions depends on what he does.
Look,
It
he's still got a
depends on what-
dagger. He's getting to his feet, and
He's got his sword. He's got his dagger. Oh no, sorry, he's got his dagger.
he's
Yes,
got his dagger.
Either I
Okay.
can. I'm stuck. I'm trying to decide whether I want to challenge him to a formal duel, let him pick up his sword, and we do it properly. Which it matches. My character's a duelist.
It's your question. Do you want to do the honourable thing or the underhand thing?
The honourable. I cannot not. I have to. I'll formally challenge him to a duel there and then.
All right.
To pick up his sword, but I'm not sure of the dueling rules because it's a bit more complicated than a straightforward fight.
That's all right.
Which is why we got Rav here. But yes, I'll challenge him formally to
Parrying and slashing and
pick up his sword.
riposting and all these things.
Yes, and I'll allow him because I can do
So-
some interesting things in duels.
Okay. So you challenge into a duel down on the gun deck as this fight's
And-
going on.
And allowing
So-
him to pick up his sword to prepare for it.
All right. What is your approach here?
It depends on whether this is going to be a duel or not.
This is going to be a duel. Yeah, he's picking up his blade. He's preparing.
Okay, I would like to use my hero point to activate Veronica's Guile, which basically means I think I use my finesse and my wits and my weaponry in the duel.
Okay.
It's basically, if I didn't use the hero point, I can choose wits. No, I could choose wits or finesse. But with a hero point, I can add them both. I think I'm not sure of. Is that about right? Or it's basically an underhand technique.
Go for
I
it.
think
Roll your dice.
I shall. And I've
Pass.
got
Yeah.
legendary finesse. I'll carry it. I'll just roll them.
Yeah. Karsten, the
Hmm.
last of the Montaignes has just crawled through a rip in. Well, it's a rip in reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Antonio is challenging the captain to a duel. The ship has taken damage. There's splinters of wood scattered across the deck. Powder is there, running out the guns, ready to fire again.
Hmm. Can I see across? Do I see the other fight going on? And then
You
are we
have to get
close?
up onto. If you go up onto the
Okay.
deck, yeah, you can see. If you run up onto the deck, you can see what's going on with Einar on the deck of the other ship.
Yeah. Is okay. So one last question: is the captain, the other captain, is his back turned to me when is he?
Yeah,
What-
he's turned. He's got his back to you. He's accepting a duel from Antonio.
Oh, okay, I'm going to engage him in the traditional ice and dueling, which is pick him up and throw him overboard.
Okay, so you're gonna backstab him. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, what approach would this be?
Let's see. It's probably going to be brawl, I would think, or athletics. I don't know. Either one.
It sounds like a brawl and brawn, probably.
Okay. So
Unless.
let's do that.
Okay, so Einar, how many razors did you have?
5.
5. Okay. Anyone else get 5?
No, I got
Anyone
three.
else have more than 5?
I got 6.
6.
I said if I combine wits,
Yeah.
they're both my best stats.
Anyone else get 6, 5? Anyone get 4?
Oh, hang on, I tell a lie. I get an automatic 10 as well, so technically that's probably 7 because I've used finesse, which is legendary for my character, so he's ridiculously fast. That could be 7.
All right. Okay. Anyone have 3?
I have 3.
I have
3 for
3.
Karsten. And Finlay?
3 as well.
Okay. So, Antonio, somewhat no surprise, with 7 razors, you go first.
I'm just going to do a
Alright.
straightforward lunge, or no, I'll do a straightforward slash. I think I can.
So, you guys, so that inflicts 3 wounds on
I-
Delacour-Cell.
I don't understand all the drilling rules, to be fair.
No, this is where this is where it's wounds
special.
equal to your rank in weaponry. This is where this all comes in. It's in dueling.
This is where it changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
We
So-
have dueling maneuvers.
I'll probably go with start with a riposte rather than a slash then, if we're doing proper dueling maneuvers.
Okay. Riposte. You prevent the number of wounds equal to your rank in weaponry. And deal the number of wounds to weaponry.
Just making things complicated for you, Tess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good job.
No. You can't do this. The riposte is a riposte. You can only do it in response to their attack.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
as in like in fencing things. So a riposte is essentially them striking and you
I
turning
can't-
their
if
blade
I can't
aside.
I can't riposte if I'm going first.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll slash.
So you slash forwards and yeah. You can only riposte on your action, but it can be to avoid wounds that's an action immediately following the maneuver that caused the wounds. Okay. So that brings you down to 6. Delacour-Cell staggers back. Can he? Okay, can't do that on his turn. Until his turn. You're still higher. You're still up top. You're at 6. What comes next after the slash?
I think I've got to do a different maneuver. I'm not entirely sure what the choices are. Just looking at it now.
Yeah, you've got to do. There's slash. So that's just a slash. There's a parry. But you can't parry because they've not struck yet. There's a feint, which is essentially to mislead them. There's a lunge forwards.
I'll try a feint, actually. Why not?
Or a bash.
Oh, that's a very good point. And actually, the bash would make sense because I'm a dueling style is sword and dagger. So I would have took a slash with the sword initially, and then tried to bash him with the base of the dagger. Well, the basket hill of the dagger.
Okay, so we're going for a bash. So 1 wound, and then we're going to deal less wounds. Okay, that brings you down to 5. Einar, over on the Madame Sophia.
I am going to take a hero point. What do I do, Tess?
Oh, you're letting me take the reins here?
Yep.
I was counting down in my head until you unleashed that.
You get something raw, your liquid body. Just run down the deck of this ship. Like, there's this other brute squad here that's here coming up to you. You're charging full into it, swinging wildly with absolutely no care for like your own sort of defense. You will take an additional wound, however, I'm gonna say
I will spend a raise to negate it.
okay, but you will cause them some damage. Are you just a basic 1 raise 1 damage, or do you have any actual fancy things you can do here?
So that is a thing. I will negate the extra damage that they're gonna do with a raise. Can I then spend one of my hero points to just immediately defeat them? Which will make me take 1 more wound.
No, you said I'm in charge here. I'm in charge.
Yeah,
I'm in charge. I'm asking essentially, if you attack them, do you just cause 1 damage?
Oh yeah, no, he would
like, is that
like,
or do you have any additional traits that mean that if you were to spend 1 raise to attack them, you would cause more damage? Is what
I hate to be that guy, but if you gave Tiss the carte blanche to use you in whatever shape form she wants, she can use all of your raises. So it'll be 1 raise for the initial hit, and then every other raise is 1 more damage. So she could blow all your raises on just trying to defeat this brute squad. And then you're in the middle of a ship with no raises. Technically,
and actually,
it
yes.
says I get the next action. Does that
Yeah,
mean she
this
can
is the
blow
next
everything
action.
on 1 action?
She could blow everything on 1
yes.
action.
Yes.
I've
This is 1 action. You
I've
get the hero
committed
point,
to it.
and you swing wildly around, taking them all down. Yeah, it's a raise. I'm gonna say, I'm not spending all your raises. I'm gonna leave you with, you spent 1 to negate the damage of doing this really recklessly and stupidly, so you're left with 1 raise.
Okay.
And there's a brute squad of 2 still standing on the deck of this ship. But you've got a hero point out of this as you charge in recklessly, roaring and ripping and tearing.
This is acceptable.
Okay, so you're down on 1, which brings us back to Antonio, who still has 5. So you slashed, you bashed.
And he still hasn't struck at me yet, has he?
No, because he hasn't got it. We've not got to him yet.
Oh, what the hell? I'll try and do another slash.
Okay.
Unless I can't. I think you can't do the same action consecutively, but you can alternate.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think the thrust is quite a reckless strike, so I'll just go with a separate slash.
Okay, so this would ideally be absolutely terrible for him, but it's now his turn, and he is going to riposte. So as you strike out, he is going to prevent the wounds equal to his rank in weaponry. So you would cause 3 damage. Is it 3 wounds you're doing? Yeah.
3, yeah.
He's going to negate those and slice back, and you're going to take 3 wounds if he ripostes,
Okay.
countering your attack.
So that puts me up to 5 wounds, I think.
Turning your blade aside. There. And that's back to you again. He strikes your blade aside and it's back to you, Antonio.
Well, I've given up playing cleanly, and I can't riposte because I've actually. Could I choose to parry and basically hold my action for him to strike second time?
You can parry. Yeah.
I'll do that basically.
Okay, so you parry, so that prevents those wounds. And then he, let's come down to him again. He's going to lunge forwards. He's throwing it all into one wild lunge. It's desperate maneuver. So he's going to spend all of his remaining razors. And this will be 5 wounds. He lunges forward. He's putting everything he's got left into this. These wounds cannot be avoided or prevented.
They can't be riposted or...
They cannot be avoided or prevented is what it says here. He lunges in, throwing everything into this last wild attack.
Okay.
And now you are on 3, but I think it's time, Karsten. You see the Delacorcel lunge forwards, desperate and wild, into Antonio, screwing him. That's, what did I say that was?
I think
It's time for him to go.
Was that 5 wounds or 6 wounds, did I say?
You said 5.
All your razors. Does that include the razor you'd normally spend to take that action? I think that should be 6 wounds.
Yeah, the initial
Yeah,
rage
6
is
wounds.
the raise is
Yeah.
the hit and damage.
Yeah, 6 wounds.
Oh my god.
that hurts, and I can't prevent it either.
No.
Well, time for him to go.
Karsten's turn.
All right, well, time to pick up this lollygagger by the scruff of his neck and introduce him to the ocean.
So you're trying to drag him back away from this duel he's fighting.
Oh, yeah.
Antonio,
Yeah.
someone stepped into your duel. Do you how you respond to this in a sec? But yeah, it's an action. He's just start to try and drag Delacorcel back and away. And Antonio,
Onwards.
we're back to you.
Oh,
This is no longer really
Oh.
a fair duel anymore, but how you react to that is up to you.
well, I'm not too happy about this, but are you going to let me do my final manoeuvre in the duel?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Well,
How
you
you want
can't
to end this. This
defend.
is still,
I'm just going to lunge use all the razors to cause damage.
okay. So he's being dragged away by interfering. You're going to lunge
As a
forwards.
final strike, as he's been dragged from the duel, and he's
Okay.
already struck me.
Not a fair fight, this. Not a fair fight at all.
Another fight cleanly. And there's only Karsten as a witness anyway. I'm sure it's a clean duel.
Well,
as he's concerned.
The universe witnesses this. There's something I'll have to think about here.
That's a very good point, actually.
Yeah, but okay. Tell me, how many razors is that? That was...
I don't know, actually.
You've got 3
This-
razors to throw in there? It's all your
this
razors,
wouldn't-
it's lunge.
This wouldn't count as the duel anymore, would it? If it's been
It-
interrupted.
It's been interrupted.
Which is because...
I'm going to let you use your dueling maneuver just for now. I'm going to say this is not a fair duel. This is not a fair end to the duel. But you can still end this duel badly.
Antonio's strange, honourable. He wanted this to be a fair duel, so he's not going to stab him.
Okay.
Because, to be fair, the other thing was, had he actually won the duel, he gets a hero point. So because it's been
Yeah, this-
interrupted,
Oh yeah, this
He
wouldn't count as
wouldn't
winning the
get it.
duel.
so it's no longer a duel. So he's going to basically probably stand there a bit fuming at Karsten interrupting the duel, and see what happens with Karsten, because he's probably going to punch Karsten. Which is
Do you
probably
want to
not
use your
feeling
raise to
he's-
punch Karsten?
Not if he's thrown. Is he not as he's throwing the guy? I'm probably a bit
He's
surprised.
dragging the guy back along the ship. He's taking him up. Remember that you're on the gun deck? You you got a whole...
Yeah, has our ship been struck yet?
Yes.
Chances are I'm probably going to try and help with what's going on, because there's been holes being blasted in the ship.
Okay, you want to attend to the ship?
I'm
Excellent.
probably going to have to try that instead of The duel's been interrupted, but the ship's
All right, so
in
you
motion.
run to try and tend to the ship. Finlay, what are you doing?
If there's nobody to shoot at, then I'm going to pay the
There's
extra
one guy.
raise.
There's one guy still in the root squad. There's one guy still in the. No, there's
Oh,
two of them
then
actually.
yeah,
There's two of them.
yeah. Then I'll use one raise for each of them. That'll bring me down to one raise period.
Okay. So you got one raise.
Oh no, I can't because it's a fucking blunderbuss. So I'll take out one of them
Okay.
and then pay the extra raise if I still have. It's still my
To
turn
reload?
to. No,
No?
to put the ship into a better position. So it'll be one extra
That would be a
raise.
different action, I think.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
you can maneuver the ship but you are next anyway, so yeah, you can. That's usually
Okay.
down to
So
one
yeah,
raise.
so I'll pay the extra raise since it wasn't my initial approach, and then I'll put us in a position to open fire again.
Okay, you're back in a position to open fire. All right. That brings us down to who's got 2 points still. Antonio and Karsten. So Karsten, you're dragging this captain up onto the deck.
Can I see Captain Finley?
Yes.
I'm going to yell out, Captain, do you need to speak with him?
No. I think the Montaigne Navy wanted him back, so throw him overboard.
Okay, I promised him we would visit his mother.
We'll add it to the itinerary.
Thank you. And then I will take him to the edge and toss him.
Okay. He splashes down into the water below. Really not pleased about this situation. And
I am amused by the situation.
Antonio, you're still just attending to the ship?
I think with the holes blasted through it, I'll probably see if I can help on the gun deck. I don't think we're firing back. We're trying to make headway. So,
well, this is going to be the question. Finlay's bringing you around, I think, putting you in a good position to fire again. Was that the?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Ready?
I was not aware of how it was going, so
yeah,
Aim.
I'll help basically.
Fire away.
Likely wits and sailing, I suspect, simply because I'm.
We're still on the original set of razors, so.
Oh, fair enough.
This will be if you're helping with that. Essentially, that's an additional raise because this is not what we're originally doing. But if you are joining the gun crew,
I'm helping the gun crew.
Yeah, that gives you a bit more to go with there. That leaves us with Einar with one raise and one brute still on the deck.
I thought you said there were two left.
Finlay shot one of them, I think.
Oh, perfect.
You're welcome.
Then I'm just gonna murder him.
Okay, just murder.
But yeah, it's not worth spending the hero point to murder one guy. I can murder one guy.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings the end. You hear the boom, boom as the cannons go again, and so how many you've got on the cannons? Is that?
I had 4 now on the cannons,
Including Antonio.
Including Antonio, because I had a brute squad of 5, and then 3 for the cannons, and 2 meandering about doing other activities.
Okay. So, this is going to be 5 points of damage to the Starhopper.
Ooh, okay, so that's gonna be 1 critical hit and 4 regular.
Water. There's a splintering down below, and water starts to gush in to the hold. Your boat is taking on water.
Okay.
It's not
Noted.
a great position to be in. But neither the other boat's not in a great position either. They've started to take some damage. You hear them running. A lot of their crew is dead. The captain is currently desperately swimming back to his own boat. Quite badly wounded as well. And now we come back round to what the hell are you guys all wanting to do now? You reckon, given the amount of damage their boat's taken and the fact that captain's in the water and most of their crew is dead, if you wanted to get away, they're unlikely to have enough crew to follow you.
Oh,
Uh,
Einar's going for the TPK. Like,
yeah,
like
that's a new Avalonian naval ship.
yeah,
Okay.
Einar isn't thinking about anything other than reducing the total lives on this boat to 1,
Okay. So I
which
see you're
is him.
going down to the gun deck to take out what remains of them.
Yeah. I'm gonna order the crew to immediately go for repairs while I come around so that we can tie off some rope and tow the ship with us.
Okay. So that sounds like sailing again. I don't think you're going to get a bonus from that, but
But it is maneuverability, so I get my 2 Avalonian dice.
yes, you do. I know yours sounds, I think, like the same. Like the
Yeah,
brawn-
it'll be the
something.
same thing.
Yeah, Antonio, you were down in the hole tending to things. Bear in mind, may I point out there is still a rip in reality that is bleeding in the middle of your gun deck. Just.
She's still there, or
No, there's just a hole. The raw bleeding wound.
what has she done exactly? Has she gone through it, or I don't
She
know?
stepped through it.
I don't know what can be done with that myself. I don't know enough about magic, so I'm going to have to find someone who knows about it. Where's Carsten? Oh, actually, I'll head up to the top deck. So the situation is he's in the gun deck. There's a massive hole there.
Yes.
In reality.
Yeah. And the hole in reality. There's also a hole in the hole. In the hole, there is an actual physical hole in this reality, which water is coming through.
Is there any way I could reduce the water coming through, or I don't think there is there?
I mean, you can try and fill the hole with something. Yes.
You probably see the crew rushing down too. So
Yeah. And
I'll probably
there's
try
two
to
running around free to do stuff. So
I'll
they're
probably
running
basically
to
try some way to limit the damage and the flooding.
Okay. So
I'm going to help the crew.
It'll be probably wits and sailing, I suspect, is
Yes.
the closest things.
yeah, that sounds like an appropriate one.
Yeah.
Karsten, are you heading down below to also help with this?
I'm going to be assisting. Yeah.
Okay. Everyone, rolly. I guess I should roll for our friend in the water. Okay.
You want us to do? Oh, sorry. Did you just say you do a sailing risk or no?
Use a sailing essentially if
Okay.
you want. Yeah.
Finesse or brawn or whatever.
It depends what you're doing here. Are you fiddling with finesse things? Or are you physically trying to like hammer up holes in the ship?
I think with my legendary brawn, I'm going to try and hold the boards in place so that they can do the nailing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's right. Okay. Anyone got more than 5 razors? You're slipping. 5?
Ooh.
Yeah, I have 5.
I do. I get the free
5?
10 for brawn. Yeah, a legendary brawn.
Finlay and 5 for Karsten.
Yep.
Nice.
4.
5 bros.
3.
I have 3.
3 for Einar. 2.
I've got 3 as well. So.
Okay. 3 for Antonio. Okay. All right. Finlay, let's start with you because I wrote your name first.
Okay. I'm going to bring us around. I'm going to do my best to hinder the Montaigne captain from getting to his ship. So if I have to like turn to block his swimming and then kind of follow him around
with the ship.
Not run him over, but definitely make it harder for him to get to his ship. So when I come around, I'm facing the same way that his ship is facing, so it makes it easier for us to tow their ship.
Yeah, so yeah, you can spend an additional raise here to just really make this guy's day terrible.
Done. As many raises as it takes to make him uncomfortable.
Okay. And then bringing the ship around ready to tow. Karsten, what are you doing?
So I am, got 5. I'm just going to start picking up boards and just holding them so the crew can do their thing.
Okay, there's water gushing in and through here. I'm going to say you're at risk here. You're risk of
Mhm.
taking some damage. There's water, there's splinters, there's like bits of ship all around.
The way Carson sees it, the bigger risk is the ship sinking. So he will.
So I'm gonna
gladly-
say, you can take an additional raise hit, or you can take a point of damage.
I'll take the damage.
Okay. So you've got these boards in place. You're holding them back against the force of the ocean, trying to force through. You feel someone shove a hammer into your hand. And go, get nailing.
I get nailing.
Okay. The 3. Einar over on the other deck of the ship.
Yeah, he's gonna run below deck to the guns, and
You see 5 Montaigne sailors ready and waiting.
I will spend one of my hero points to just defeat them and take a wound.
You're just crashing your way through here, just taking a wound. I'm gonna say this wound, I'm gonna think if you take it, is gonna come from a minor explosion of some of the gunpowder.
That's
You're
fair.
Just smashing your way through the gun deck of this ship.
And then so that would be 1. So yeah, so then during that action, can I spend a raise to yell through one of the gun ports, "They're dead"?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. This Einar's voice booming across. Yes. All right, Antonio, what are you doing? I think.
Basically,
Is this-
he's assisting anyone else with the repairs. He doesn't know where all the tools and items are on the ship as well as the crew. So he's basically assisting people who know better than him.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure we're going to need the rest of our raisers here, because essentially what's going on, they have no crew left to fire on you.
It's very true.
So all you're doing is everyone's running around frantically hammering up holes in their ship, stuffing ballast into holes, trying to like soak up water, bailing water leaking into the boat. And the only real question of like foe remains is Della Corsell, who has just swum and grabbed on to the ropes of his own boat, and then
It's my boat now.
looks up.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Like drags himself over the side, wet and dripping, to see just the deck sloshing with blood and body parts.
Oh, as soon as he
Oh,
like,
no.
I just imagine Einar is like just out of eye shot, and so as soon as he comes like up over the thing, Einar's ready to just like
I surrender. You have us beat.
I know. I don't know how the Vestin do it, but sometimes people have to be asking permission to come aboard.
Einar drops the axe into his forehead.
Okay.
And then kicks and then like simultaneously kicks him off of the axe into the water.
Well done.
Okay. Interesting.
He didn't ask permission to come on my boat.
Let me...
Sure, that's you. You are saying factual statements.
These are maritime rules for a reason.
So you just bringing the axe down on his head and kicking him off your boat. Let's see. Page 160
That's-
and page 203.
That's a tone of voice that that says the GM was not expecting that.
No, that is the point of Einar is taking a point of corruption here.
Oh,
That was a man who had just surrendered to you, and you killed him right there. He was
I
unarmed.
imagine he said it in French and I didn't understand.
He could have said it in English
So
too.
he might have.
I'm gonna count that as an act that's going to
That's
one point
fine.
of corruption.
That's fine.
That was an act of killing a foe who had surrendered, who was not
Yeah.
attacking you, and who was
were-
unarmed.
Yeah, you're right.
That was not a heroic action.
But you have to be alive to tell people.
Indeed.
I mean, we seen it. We seen it.
So, you've got 1 corruption point at the time being. Bear that in mind. for your
I
deeds
should
going
probably see
forwards.
what that means.
It's not good. I don't think it'll come into play with one more episode left, but I think it's definitely not good.
Is that a challenge?
So,
Live your life.
as
Yeah.
Delacorsel slips from the side of it and plunges back into the ocean, you have gained yourself an extra boat. It's dinted, it's full of holes, and it doesn't have a crew to come with it. But you have seized, via an act of piracy, another boat. You are the
No, 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 no,
pirates
no,
now.
no.
Congratulations.
They tried to steal our
attacked us.
shit. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
That was
Maybe they were trying to steal your shit.
Yep. So anyone that doesn't work for the crown or the grail is a pirate. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the crew begins to set to work, like patching holes, and presumably you're going to have to send some of your crew over to the Madame Zephyr.
Yep.
We need a new name. We need a new name for that ship.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring the crew together and I'll just be like, so we are at a very interesting crossroads here because we could take this and bring it back to the Glamour Isles, a new Avalonian ship, have it renamed, rechristened, and all that. But because I am not a selfish man, and I know that my crew acts as a family, I would like to bring it all to a vote. Do we sink the ship, or do we take it back home, knowing that it's going to slow us down? No, speak at once.
I
say sink
Einar
it.
assumes he has no say in this, that he literally is new, so he doesn't know that he is
Antonio
considered.
doesn't know what. Yeah, much the same. Antonio doesn't see himself as a member of the crew as such, so he doesn't know whether his vote.
You two,
Sink
two help, so both of you have a say in this. And I would be remiss if I didn't give you a vote, Einar, considering that you're the one that gave us this ship.
I say sink it.
Not gave, but earned our ship.
I say take what is needed for repairs, then send it to bottom of ocean.
All right. We heard the
agree.
man.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Take what we need to repair anything that's useful or valuable, and then just sink it.
Hannah, see if their cannons are better than ours and replace them, and then take what you need to repair the ship, and then let's be on our way.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Einar at this point will do two very specific things. He wants to find like one piece of gold or something on somebody. And while all of this is happening, he's saying like a silent prayer to the Allfather and basically offering the ship as a tribute as it's being gutted and destroyed and then sank.
You want him to set fire to it?
Sure. Use some of the extra gunpowder that we don't need, and let's show the Montaigne how the Grail reacts to being attacked.
And, yes?
Oh,
Antonio?
yes. What I'll do is I'll walk up to Carsten. I'll take a pair of gloves, which somehow I happen to have, and I'll just slap him across the face with a pair of gloves. You interrupted my duel.
Sorry. What does that mean besides being rude? I'm sorry. I'm not a duelist.
He's just going to turn and walk away. He's not going to basically. He's pissed off, but he's not to the point. It's basically he sees it as extremely rude what Carsten did, but still he's a member of the crew, so he's pissed off. So if anyone needed him to duel or on her behalf, he would quite happily. But Carsten is, as far as he's concerned, he's not. He's keeping his distance. He's pissed off with him, but he's not to the point of hating him. He's just, this is an idiot. I can't deal with. So he's just going to, when you say that, he's just going to turn and walk away. I mean, he doesn't want to fight within the crew. because, well, he's on a ship in the middle of the ocean.
Fair enough.
So, as this is going on, as Einar sort of it's a prayer on the deck of the soon to be no longer Madame Sophia. In fact, Hannah kind of, actually no, this would be Gertrude. This is more of a Gertrude thing. Comes up to Carsten, like just in the elbow. I've got a present for you if you want it.
Oh.
Carsten,
Hmm?
I've got a present
sorry.
for you if you want it.
My bosun is talking to you.
I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Nope, go ahead.
Gertrude like sidles up to Carsten after the sort of altercation with Antonio. Just gives you like a little nudge in the elbow and the ribs and goes, "Psst, I've got a present for you if you want it."
Love presents.
She hands you a slightly damp bag about this large.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, look inside.
It's a head.
Whose head?
Just one of the Montaignes, just one of their heads.
Very nice. Very thoughtful.
I mean, you don't need the whole head, right? Like you just need the tongues.
And the eyes.
And oh yeah, okay.
Ah,
So
Yes.
much good. It's like a Kinder ball, but it's a head. And
Yeah.
all of the
Yeah. So once we're on our way, I'll gather the crew in front of the pleasure and just be like, so how do we handle this disgusting thing in the fabric of reality?
They all look from one to the other. Like, I don't know magic.
Yeah, Einar's gonna hold up his hands like that wasn't me.
I'd have questions if it was.
What would happen if we shot cannons through it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. This is outside line.
I
Is this
don't want
this
to
is a
chance.
portal?
I don't want to chance that our cannons go through it since we didn't have anything to do with it. And we'd be blowing up a hole in the side of our own ship.
Hmm.
Where's the portal open to? It is a portal, isn't it?
Yes, it is a doorway.
Yeah,
We can see
I don't think.
beyond.
Yeah, there's a hellscape beyond that.
Yes, it's a blood-soaked
Oh.
hellscape.
In the other ship.
Yeah, I don't want to attract any attention from this, so let's not fire into it. Oh my god, I hate having to do this. We're gonna have to find somebody once we get to where we're going for supplies. Although I think with the spoils that we've got from the Sophia, I think we can push all the way up to the northern city of Arasent. What do you think, Hannah?
Definitely. Yes.
Will it be safe
And-
to travel with this, though?
I mean, we have a choice.
This is the first time I've had a Montaigne hell portal on the boat.
Yeah, well, we'll find somebody to handle it in
Yeah.
Arasent, and I might have some connections that I can call upon. And
I'll keep a watch in case anything comes out.
yeah, I think let's make sure that there's at least two of us on duty, making sure that anything comes through this hellgate.
Which I have to imagine was the captain's plan down in the hold.
We'll never know.
Yep.
You can't talk to dead people?
I mean, are we just saying everything that's in our heads out loud right now?
I don't know. I thought you might be able to talk to dead people. Can you talk to dead people?
Yeah. Would I know that you can talk to dead people? Is that something that you would have trusted me with?
You know, I've gotten answers that may have been. How the hell did he get these answers
Okay, then,
from
yeah,
different
maybe.
missions?
To make it clear, Hannah does not know you can talk to dead people. She just thinks that this might be a thing that ice and people can do.
Well, the
Sure.
rampant racism aboard the ship aside.
Right? Disrespect. First Ferdinand and now Gertrude.
Yes.
I'm gonna have
Yes.
to talk to them.
Yes. But if we wouldn't do that sort of thing in polite company. What? I just told him I would take care of his mother if he suddenly passed. That's all.
Montaigne don't count. They just started a war.
Yeah, they just stick their big stinky onion noses wherever they don't belong.
Anyway, so you can't talk to that. I'm sorry. It seems I heard stories.
Mm-hmm.
Until he decides to show us that he can do that, let's not be rampantly racist on the boat. And I just look at Ferdinand, right?
I didn't even say anything.
Yet.
And we know what you said about the Castilians. And I look at it.
Brilliant.
That's what hurts the
So-
most.
Antonia looks and turns to Ferdinand and is like, The rest of you get some rest. Good job defending the ship. You got a long way to go till we get home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you rest, as you keep a watch on the Blessure in your gun deck, which is definitely bringing down the mood on the crew. Everyone's a little unsettled by the fact that this thing is here.
Yeah.
And as you sail on, as you approach,
I do make notes of it and study it as
yeah.
because I do sorcery, so I want to know why this is their sorcery and why it isn't like a spatial tear and it's attached to the boat in some way, shape, or form instead of just like us being able to just sail by it and it
seems
existing.
to exist pinned to the location of your boat.
Yeah, so I make notes of that.
It's rooted on the wood or what? You don't know, but somehow it's here. It's
And
following
this
you.
is below decks in the boat?
Yes. Down on the
Yeah,
deck.
so Einar would try to avoid it at all costs, mainly because it's an enclosed space and he's way too big, but also it's hinky shit, and is only ever going to go near the thing if he has to kill anything that comes out of it.
Yeah. I will try to ask to see if cutting around the wood at the base and at the top of it moves it, or if it's just attached to the boat in some other way.
It seems to just be attached to the boat. You try that. You like chop around and you just that would make you a very cool like movable portal.
Yeah, because I would have chucked it off the boat at that point. This is the ocean's problem. But now it's still my problem.
Be there, hanging there in space, taunting you.
Yeah,
Because
I don't like it.
I mean, you know enough about magic, I think, to know there's only one sort of person that can close one of these.
Another one.
You're going to find yourself another Montaigne sorcerer.
Yep.
And that means
Stopping at a Montaigne city.
Stopping at a Montaigne city and talking to Montaigne people and not killing them.
I mean, so I'll talk to them and make sure that Einar has nothing to do with that conversation.
So yeah, as you come around the coast towards the city of Arisen, as you have two goals now. One, find a Montaigne sorcerer who can close the horrendous blessure on your boat. And two, make it across the Montaigne Strait.
Yep.
Sorry, the Avalon Strait, in which
Correct.
direction you're coming at it from. And to the island that Antonio knows of.
Yep. Hop, skip, and a jump away, it looks like.
I think we will pick up next week with you going into town and finding yourselves a sorcerer.
Done.
Hopefully, have enough time to conclude the adventure next week.
Ooh.